Alright guys, it's turbo time. This is a MPI turbo. It is used. I rebuilt the turbo. See previous video or right before. Anyway, yeah. So this is basically just saying parts will be called out as whatever and bolt sizes, blah blah blah. Anyway, I printed this out. 10/26 of 15. So it's black and white. Laser printer for the win. So these are the parts you got to remove. Looks like we got roll cage bolts. Oh, this is the exhaust bolts or exhaust bracketry. Oil lines, oil line. You got to cut this little bracket off. Bunch of little clips. So they want you to take passenger seat off, exhaust mat header. Looks like the tail light, the muffler silencer, the intake, and something else. So this, I'm going to be putting on a 2019. So anyway, that's going to be a little different than this kit. So tools, all of them. It says take off the cage, take off the cover. This is a 2016 bed. They want you to take the fenders off, the inside swoopy things. Some more bolts. So then they want you to take off whatever that is. Basically, it's air cleaner. There's all kinds of screws. I think 9 or 10 screws. If you have the stock box, there's a screw in the center, like right where my finger is. So you got all these screws all the way around. I'll show you in a second. Hose. Then you got a temp sensor. Another hose, which I believe I deleted this on my car, so I don't have that. Then you want to take the whatever, they're 4mm hex heads, socket heads, whatever you want to call them, inverted sockets, basically Allen screws, 3 of them. So loosen them. Don't take them off. I took it off. It says right here. It says it's not necessary to completely remove the bolt. Just loosen. I ended up dropping a nut. It was sitting between one of the throttle bodies, so it didn't fall in there. Then the heat shield. My car's different. This one's got a huge old heat shield. The tail light. Take off the exhaust. Don't lose the crush washers. It says loosen clamp. Loosen muffler. Just take the muffler off. Remove the header. Gaskets stay in. Remove muffler. I don't know how you're supposed to remove the header and then remove the muffler, but whatever. Still shows it's in there, or not in there. Anyway, so if you're running the stock, that says to rotate it to the exhaust inlet that goes in here. Rotate it so it's down, so it fits through this little valley. Remove the bracket, which I did. And they want you to remove this oil line bracketry. Remove the hose, one of the lines that goes to the top. I believe it's a return. And then you want to loosen it at the bottom. And then, so you'll have the hose on the engine end. Then the tank side there. Anyway, you got to take the 2 bolts off that go right next to the oil cooler. There's this little fitting, which is this fitting. Take those off, save the O-ring. Yeah. I hope I have that piece. Anyway, then they want you to take the solenoid off its mounting bracket. There's a bracket right here. Take it off. Then they want you to cut the bracket off and paint it. So cut it off, spray paint it, because it gets in the way. It was already in the way, so it was like 20 steps of just making sure you paint it and grind it smooth. So they want you to take the smog stuff apart, cut this little hose clamp thing, or this little nipple hose clamp, and they want you to hose clamp it, basically block it off. But my car, these are blocked off, so I don't think I have that. Then this hose, which is right here. This hose, one's gonna go to the blow-off valve. There's water in mine. Anyway, blow-off valve. There's a lot of steps, guys. A lot of steps. And move 2 or 3 zip ties securing main harness for upper frame. Disconnect the 3 injector plugs. Disconnect the fuel line from the fuel rail. Loosen the throttle body clamps. I guess that's on the bottom. Oh yeah, there's some on the bottom of the throttle bodies. So loosen those. Front cylinder is hard to get to. Anyway. A lot of steps, guys. Then they want you to use that fitting, which I'm hoping it's this fitting. I'm still trying to think of where the other one goes, but that goes, I guess, somewhere on the top. I don't know. Figure that out when I get there. Throttle bodies, it goes right next to the throttle body. I want you to cut off a pin, remove and file the pin that's there, remove electrical tape, the end of the throttle position sensor, remove rubber cover, back a little, ensure wires are tucked under the plastic. Do not remove the entire fuel rail, just the 2 bolts and spacers. Remove the OE fuel rail spacers and replace with MPI HKS adapters, which I'm kind of thinking they're these. That's what they look like. So that there is this. So that'll go on the fuel rail, and then not sure, maybe use longer bolts. They're too short. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of a pain in the butt. I'm already 10 minutes in, and I'm just reading the instructions, and I'm at step 42, and I think there's a lot. 125, then the fan, override. So 125 steps, guys. So I just basically got to blow through this real quick. Then you have these little adapters, got O-rings, throttle body adapters. They're pre-installed at MPI and not the larger 3. Lubricate. And throttle body spacer. Ensure there's no gap is shown. Blah blah blah. Tighten 6mm or 6 bolts, 4 and 5 millimeters. So you got in the body, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which I hope those bolts I have, hopefully. Double check OE harness is relocated as shown. Anyway, a lot of stuff, man. Gems cable goes through there. I'm not using the gems stuff. I'm going to be using something different, so I got to wait to put the intercooler on, but I can do all the throttle body stuff. So gems cable again. There's a sensor on the air box. Drill a hole, don't hit any wires. Going past, guys. I don't know if I have that block. I do. I know I do. Oh yeah. It's nowhere. That's crazy. I was pretty sure I had that block. There. Well, guys, I might not have that block. I might have to figure that out because I need that aluminum block. Anyway, that is weird. I could have sworn I had everything. Anyway, I did put this front piece on there already. And that's it. Man, I could have sworn I had this block. Anyway, if I find it, I'll find it. If not, maybe I gotta see about getting something or see if I can't make this work. I'm sure it's just an oil return. It'd be nice to have that, but if I don't, I don't. Anyway, 54. That's a lot of steps. So then you want to take this and basically you're going to flip it. So now it's got this weird flow into it. And then this I'm not using. This is the GEMS electronic boost control. Again, it's supposed to be this bracket. I don't have that bracket. So I'll make something work for this. I took this out, this plug, because I did a timing chain tensioner manual. So I want you to put it at 1030, and you can use shims. I ended up using, I think, 4 shims. You can get copper spark plug shims. Anyway, and then they want you to use a sealer. There's a lot of steps to this. I just want you to put it in right so it drains properly. That's where I saw that fitting, but it's not that fitting. Anyway, I'll have to find something. Anyway, they want you to put the brackets on like so, and then mount the turbo to the brackets. Bracket, turbo, exhaust. I have to spread my exhaust, the header, or the exhaust, because I have an aftermarket header, and it's the same diameter as that. Anyway, hose, cut the hose for the return. Put NICs on your header pipe. Put your header back in. Seated to bump on pipe. Pre-installed clamp. Remove the exhaust brackets. Oh, those are already in. So tighten those bolts down. And yeah, tighten the bracket bolts, the other bracket bolts. Tighten the exhaust hose clamp. The oil line. Install oil line, no interference. Make sure it doesn't rub against the bracket. Tighten it on that thingy. And then you got your blow-off valve, which is right here. I want you to run it to the one thing, but I'm not doing it. You can do this if you're going to run a boost gauge. If you're using a boost gauge, connect here. You will need a 90-degree elbow. So I do have a boost gauge coming. Lubricate O-rings. And then install the O-rings on there, which is this bracket down in here. Tighten the 5 bolts. Those are the bolts I was talking about. So there should be 5 of those. So 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then these 4 are for the brackets. And then the 2, I'm assuming you reuse for the fuel rail. Anyway, tighten them down. That's the intercooler. They want you to use a little foam. My intercooler already has the foam. Use the bracket, pull it tight, squeeze it, tighten it. There's a map sensor. Map sensor's in here, but the tuner kit I'm getting comes with a new one. Connect the intercooler to a middle solenoid. I believe I'm going to be running this line directly to the blow-off valve, or the wastegate, sorry, because the tune that they're doing is 7 or 8 psi. Anyway, then they want you to put the muffler piece on. Muffler piece goes out. And there's another bracket. Tighten the bracket. Tighten the 3 bolts for the muffler. Tighten them again. Then there's a heat shield. Oh, you want to install the tail lights. Tuck the wires. Connect the wiring to that thing. They want you to put the one thing there, the thing I'm not using. Over there, zip tie a bunch of wires. More wiring. Drill something. Enlarge the top right hand hole on the rear mount bracket with a 1/4 inch drill bit. Okay. And then, okay, so that's the heat shield for the muffler. Heat shield, and then the air box. Zip tie stator wire to the front of engine mount as shown. Remove plastic plug, drill out brass filter with 5/16, which I'm assuming they already did it because mine already has the hose. Hose adapter. Stick all the tubing on. Man, that's a pain in the butt. Throw the intake tube in there. Tighten the air. Oh, I thought that shield was for the muffler. Apparently it's not. Anyway. Yeah. A lot to do. I gotta figure out that adapter. Whether I gotta make one, or if I can contact the seller that sold this to me and see if he has it. So, anyway, guys. So, yeah, where I'm at is I took the whole car apart again. Took the roll cage off. Took the cage off. Took the front arms off. I was just kidding. I'm picking up those tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, the cage and that I'm picking up tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, so I took the airbox off. Airbox is gone. Exhaust is gone. And, yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. This header pipe. The same diameter. So I don't know what I'm gonna do because they want you to basically push it all the way into the here. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it to go in that far. Anyway, so yeah, I'll take the airbox off. That inside there is the screw I was talking about. There's 9 screws. Mine has a spacer that I installed. There's the little Allens for that. And little heat shield. Whatever else. Anyway, guys. Yeah, a lot of work. 23 minutes. Guess this is just going to be a series of stuff. So, all right, I'm going to get off. I'm going to go see if I can't find this adapter, bracket, whatever you want to call it. See if I can email the guy and say, hey, it's missing 1 or 2 parts. 1 part and some screws maybe. So, anyway, I'll keep you guys posted if I do any more. I might take the throttle bodies off. And, yeah, I might end up doing that. So, sorry for the glare. Alright. See you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Comment. Do what you guys do. All of them. Later.